Joining me now is To Die For podcast host Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, there's been a lot of talk in the media about Jeff Bezos's lavish wedding in Venice. It's this Saturday. Tell me the latest, and let's be honest, we all want to know, is there a prenup? The last divorce cost him billions, tens of billions.
I am all over this for you, but I hate to disappoint you. There's still no word officially on whether Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez signed a prenup. And that's raising eyebrows because, like you said, Bezos didn't have one with ex-wife MacKenzie Scott. And their 2019 divorce ended with Scott walking away with roughly $35 billion, instantly making her one of the richest women in the world. With Bezos now worth over $200 billion, legal experts say a prenup this time around would be a critical move. But by the way, can I find anybody willing to marry me for $35 million? I mean, like, I'm here. I'm ready.
You're settling for 35 million, not billion. Come on, Kinsey, we can get you the B. We can get you with a B. Thank you. Aim high. Now, Orlando Bloom is expected to be at this wedding, and he may be making his debut as a single man. What's happened with Katy Perry? Because only, a few weeks ago, she was in space with the bride, Lauren Sanchez. Is she not going to be at the wedding by Orlando's side?
I mean, I should ask you what's in the water in Australia, because apparently this all blew up in Australia. According to TMZ, Orlando Bloom is going to be making his debut as a newly single man at the wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Sources say he's expected to bring the energy and hit the dance floor hard. There's even talk he and Leonardo DiCaprio could slip away for a little bar hopping.
Oh, dear.
One insider jokes 90% of the guest list is kind of boring, but that other 10%, including Orlando, Leo, and Jeff Bezos himself, is where the real fun is. It's going to be a great party. Now, the split rumors, they just won't stop. They're intensifying, and notably, she will not be attending the wedding.
Well, the last thing you want to hear is that your estranged husband is hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio somewhere in Italy. That is just bad news all around. Now let's move on to the UK, and there are reports that Prince Andrew will not be returning as a working member of the royal family under Prince William once he becomes king. The Prince and Princess of Wales reportedly see the disgraced Duke of York as a threat to the firm, and the future king does not want to explore any sort of scenario where he's going to be returning as a working royal.
I mean, honestly, no one in the line of succession would welcome Prince Andrew back into the fold. His sexual assault accuser recently committed suicide, and while he insists he's an innocent man, he was clearly close to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, and in the court of public opinion, it's guilt by association. So I'm hoping that Prince William isn't villainized over these reports, because to me it feels like common sense.
And sticking with the royals, George Clooney and his wife Amal have rubbed shoulders with King Charles this week. Tell us what was behind that. Why was George Clooney at Buckingham Palace?
Well, you know what? I think the Clooneys probably prefer crowns over complaints. George and Amal showed up hand in hand to Buckingham Palace looking right at home. I guess after one royal wedding and a few Netflix specials, they've officially RSVP'd no to Montecito and yes to Team Working Royals. You can't blame them. The King's Trust has way better press and fewer Spotify casualties, but they were there for the King's Trust Awards, and they looked relaxed. They were in good spirits as they spoke to King Charles before he greeted the other guests, and they are apparently longtime supporters of the King's Trust, formerly the Prince's Trust. And in 2019, Amal actually partnered with the organization to launch Amal Clooney's Women's Empowerment Award. So this actually surprises me so much. It's giving you a sense of how Hollywood has really turned their back on the Sussexes.
Well, yeah, if you've got the choice between the Sussexes and the real royal family, you're always going to pick the royals, aren't you? We're not surprised. I want to ask you about Sean Diddy Combs. His legal team failed to call a single witness to the stand in his defence. Why is that? Closing arguments are scheduled to begin Thursday, and I'm hearing more and more conjecture that the defence is very confident that he's going to get off on the most serious charges.
Look, Diddy may not be the most sympathetic figure, and no jury wants to let somebody shady off the hook, but being unlikable isn't the same as being guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking. The government has thrown a lot at him, but when you look closely, it's fair to question whether all of it will actually stick. When it comes to the racketeering charge specifically, prosecutors appear to be on shaky ground. Some might argue that they overcharged him. I mean, I guess I could say now I do feel like they overcharged him because they dropped several of the counts today because they wanted to simplify the jury's, the jury's instructions. And now they're trying. It did look like for a while that they were trying to make the facts fit the narrative versus the other way around. So I don't know. I do wonder. I'm at a loss. I don't know what's going to happen when it finally comes down to the jury taking this case and trying to determine what happens behind closed doors. But I do think when it comes to closing arguments, we're going to hear the defense double down on their original approach. Admit Diddy's not a saint, but remind the jury that being morally questionable isn't the same as being criminally liable.
And before you go, Taylor Swift has surprised fans in Nashville as she took to the stage at Travis Kelce's charity concert to sing Shake It Off. Let's have a quick look. I may have to reinstitute some sort of a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce ban again on this program, Kinsey. I don't know if I can put up with too many more clips like that.
Look, we talked about prenups. All I have to say to Taylor Swift is, please, for the love of God, you know, athletes are notorious for burning through their money the second they no longer have work in the NFL. Please get a prenup, Taylor. Please listen to us.
Well, I'm still hoping, I shouldn't say this, but I'm hoping for a fantastic album post-breakup. I can still see a breakup happening and a #1 album, and then she'll find love with someone more suitable.